Okay, good morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and I'm back this morning. It's Saturday morning, and it's real overcast here. I think we're supposed to get some rain today. We got some yesterday. So, and it's a good day for a sweet potato pie.
You got that. Every day is a good day for a sweet
That
potato
is
pie.
Roy's absolute favorite. Don't show him the crust, baby. It didn't turn out.
It turned out like it turned out.
This is a crust that I've had in the freezer for probably, it's one of those Pillsbury pie crusts that you can buy in the little roll and you roll it out. Well, I took it out of the freezer and I tried to thaw it just a little bit in the microwave, enough so that I could unroll it. Well, I kind of thawed it a little bit too much. So I did some patching to it. It's gonna be good anyway, and the around the edges is not really pretty like I like my pie crust. I like mine really, really pretty. But you know what? Roy doesn't care. He doesn't care what it looks like as long as it's good. So I'm gonna take a traditional sweet potato pie and I'm gonna make it sugar-free. Now I will not eat the crust because it is not gluten-free. But I'm hoping that I'm making enough that I can make me some little custard, the custard without the crust in these little dishes right here.
But this would be the same if they had the sugar instead of the...
Yeah, it's a traditional sweet potato. I'm just using natural sweetener.
Okay, so
instead
they
of
can use sugar. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because they can. Okay, so the recipe calls for 3 cups of sweet potatoes, mashed sweet potatoes, and let me see if I can get them in here. Oh shoot, wait a minute. Alright, I'm going to do it the easy way. And you can use a hand mixer if you like. I just like using my stand mixer. So that's 3 cups of sweet potatoes, and it calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. Well, instead of sugar, I am using 3/4 cups of brown, no, it's called golden monk fruit. And I put a little bit of the white on top. So I'm using 3/4 cups of white sweetener. Now, this is something new that I've tried. It's called Pure Cane. I get it from Amazon. It's like Swerve. It's like monk fruit, except if you look at it, it's grainy. It looks exactly like sugar, but it's no calories, no carbs, they make it from sugar cane. So I've tried it, I like it. So I'm trying it in this pie today to see how it works. I've not baked with it, so I'm trying it to see how it bakes. But that's 3/4 cups of your brown monk fruit, brown Swerve. I think Swerve calls it golden. No, monk fruit calls it golden, Swerve calls it brown. So, but it's all natural sweetener. So I'm putting 1.5 cups of that. I'm gonna put my little thing back on. And I'm using my whisk attachment because sometimes sweet potatoes have those little stringy things in them. And so the whisk will pull those out. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to incorporate my sweetener and my sweet potatoes. And at the same time, it calls for 1/2 cup of butter, and I melted my butter. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm just going to let it beat for a second. Now it calls for 2 eggs, and it says 2 beaten eggs, but since I'm using my stand mixer, I'll just let my stand mixer do the beating. And it's just a dash of salt, which that's a dash. I'm gonna beat it for a little bit so it'll get a little bit more air in it. break the sides down and go to the bottom. When you're using a stand mixer, you always want to go to the bottom because your little attachment sometimes doesn't get all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to put it calls for 1 cup of milk, but what I use is a half a cup of whole milk, and I use evaporated milk in mine. So and evaporated milk is just canned evaporated milk. Some people we used to call it cream when I was growing up. Mom always called it cream. But, so I've got a cup of milk. You can use a cup of whole milk. You can use all evaporated milk. You can mix it up. You can put half and half. You use half and half, that makes it a little richer. And so with this evaporated milk, it'll make it a richer pie. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and this is pure vanilla extract. I'm gonna put a little bit more. I'm gonna put 1 1/2. Because Roy likes vanilla. And now, this is up to you. You can put spice in yours or you don't have to. Roy loves spice. So in mine, I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, which is right here. I'm going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves because he loves cloves. And I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of allspice. And I'm going to beat that in. You can use all cinnamon, you can use apple pie spice, whatever spice you like, you can use in yours, or you can totally leave it out. That's just up to you. So I'm going to turn it up for a minute. Okay. And this is what it looks like.
Ooh,
I'm
yummy.
gonna let Roy taste and see if he thinks it's got enough spice in it. I know it's got eggs in it, but that's all right.
That's perfect.
Oh, it's raining.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Oh, look, we don't have to go through the cooking motion.
Yeah, we
Put
do.
some of that in a cup.
No. Okay. And I've got my oven set on 350. So I'm going to hopefully have enough for my 2 little. And now this is not your regular, this is I just dropped some on the floor. But you know what, Evan, Evan, I don't think you're supposed to have, you can't eat that. This is kind of like a deep dish that you would buy if you buy your pie crust from the store in those little tin metal things. This would be the equivalent of a deep dish. It holds more than what those little, the little traditional ones, the little shallow ones do. That one does. So, okay, now I'm fixing to make mine.
Are you going to tell them that sometimes with a glass of milk I eat a whole potato pie for breakfast?
No, I wasn't going to tell them that.
Okay, don't tell them that because they'll know I'm some kind of extremist.
No, I was not going to tell him that. But he does it now. But when he used to work and a lot before he retired, and we had a farm and he worked on the farm, or he was doing manual labor, he's not kidding. He could eat a whole sweet potato pie for breakfast.
And love it.
He can't do it now because it shows
I'd be a
up.
wobble that weebled and couldn't fall down.
That's right. It shows up around his midsection. But And he tries to watch that now that he's totally retired. He still works in the garden and in the yard some. Well, not so much in the yard.
Easy, girl. Back to cooking. Get out of my lane.
But anyway, so I'm going to put this in the oven on 350, and it's probably going to cook probably 40-45 minutes. It may take 50 minutes since it's thick. So I'll be back with you as soon as it gets ready. I'm going to set it for 35 minutes, and because I always check it to make sure that at 5 minutes less than what it really says, because I don't want to make sure that my crust isn't getting too brown or whatever. But anyway, I'm fixing to put it in the oven. Move, Evan. Move. Evan is visiting with us.
That's Evan under the... We would run him out, but he's visitor, and we don't want to scold the other person's dog.
He's visiting with us this weekend and all next week, so he likes to help me cook. Really, what he likes to do is scrounge around on the floor in case I drop anything. But and Roxy likes to do that too. But Roxy, she's used to all this, so she's just taking it easy this morning. So I'll be back with y'all in as soon as my pie gets ready. We'll see how long it takes. Our pie has got 45 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off because I've already looked at it, and it cooked 45 minutes. And I'm gonna, whew, I always do that.
It had to cook longer because it was deeper? Is that?
Yeah, because it
Oh,
was
my,
deeper.
that's coming up out of the...
And if
that's
you can
beautiful.
look, see how it's cracking a little bit around the edges here? That's when you know your pie is done. And you can touch it, and it's firm in the middle.
Do that again.
You can touch it, it's firm in the middle, but when it starts cracking around the edges like that, you know your pie's done. And I love these kind of pie crusts because they don't get so brown. So, all right. This was 45 minutes. Now this one was done in 35 minutes because it's thinner, it's not as much. But I let this one cook for the same amount of time that I did my pie. As you can tell, we've already been tasting of it, and it is absolutely delicious. This is the same as this, so I'm not going to cut the pie because it needs to cool about an hour or two before you really cut into it so it can set. But I am going to taste of this one. I already have.
It's good. Delicious.
Mm. If you're sugar-free and you use this sweetener that I use today, the pure cane sweetener and the golden monk fruit, it almost tastes identical to sugar. If no one told me, I would not know there wasn't sugar in this pie. So this is the best combination that I've used yet, and I love the combination that I used today. So I really hope y'all try this for the holidays, especially the ones that are sugar-free. And so, but it's a wonderful recipe. Just add sugar. If you use sugar, just use sugar instead of the sweetener. And it's just as good because I have made it with the sugar. And but I just wanted to show y'all how I make my sugar-free sweet potato pie this morning, and it is delicious.
This is another dish though, even if you're not sugar-free.
Oh yeah.
But you've had a diet period, you've lost weight, and now you want to maintain that. If you begin substituting these delicious foods that you're showing them how to do for some of the sugar, then they don't have to go back to all that sugar. Because these dishes are wonderful and delicious for you and your family. And it's just horrible to diet and then go right back to the old food culture with the same amount of sugar, the same amount of potatoes, the same amount of pasta. when you can change that culture and not start regaining.
The only sugar in this is what's in your sweet potatoes. And I do a pumpkin pie. It's not exactly like this one, but it's very similar to this one. And so a little bit later, I'll be showing you how I do that. But y'all, I'm telling you, try this.
It's good.
Try this pie. It's really, really good.
And it's healthy.
And it leaves you wanting more. Like I could eat that whole thing probably, but we're fixing to eat lunch a little bit, so I'm not. But yeah, it's healthy because sweet potatoes are good in moderation. And that's how I eat sweet potatoes, in moderation. And I don't eat white potatoes at all. But your sweet potatoes are more nutritious, and so, but please try this pie. Please try it. Even if you put sugar in it, try it. It's delicious. Subscribe, like, and please share this. Please share my channel because that's the way I get more subscribers. And I am getting more every day, and I really thank y'all for sharing it because y'all are sharing and you are commenting. You're leaving me thumbs up. You're leaving me, I never can do the heart. You're leaving me hearts. And I have somebody from New Mexico, a new subscriber, asking me a question yesterday. And of course, I try to answer all the questions. And so it's just really nice for y'all to help me out like you're doing, and I really appreciate it. So y'all have a good day, and I love y'all.